Hello everybody, I hope you're all okay. This is going to be our literacy lesson for today and we're going to be looking at dialogue. So you're going to need a book or some paper and a pencil. I'd just like to apologise for my camera being off today. It's not working, but hopefully it'll be back up and running for tomorrow's lesson. What I'd like you to start by doing is just writing the date and title at the top of your page. So for example, Tuesday the 17th of November 2020, and the title is Dialogue. Throughout the lesson, I'll be asking you to complete some short tasks. When I do, just feel free just to pause the video, complete the tasks, and then you can play the video again. So what we're going to be doing in today's lesson is reading some more of the King Kong book, and then answering some questions on the short extract that we read. Then what we're going to be doing is looking into the rules of dialogue, and at the end of the lesson, you can have an opportunity to write your own short dialogue. Okay, let's get started and read the book. Jack Driscoll and Carl Denham faced each other across the chasm. "You go back," shouted Jack. "Get some more men and more bombs. I'll follow Kong, and when I find him, I'll signal to you somehow." "Okay, Jack, be careful, and good luck." Denham turned and ran back towards the village. Following Kong's trail was hard work, and Jack was hungry and tired, but the giant beast seemed to go faster with every step. Jack realised that they were climbing up the back of Skull Mountain. "He's heading for home," thought Jack. It made sense. Kong was the only animal on the island who could climb, so up here he was safe. Jack climbed wearily on, and finally, as he neared the top, he saw Kong entering a huge cave. This was his home. Jack crawled into the cave and saw Kong put Anne on a high ledge. Kong turned his back on her, and Jack watched in horror as a giant snake slithered out of a steaming pool and lunged towards her. Anne screamed. Kong turned and leaped onto the reptile. The snake coiled itself around Kong's neck and seemed to be squeezing the life out of the giant ape. He fought furiously to free himself, and with one last effort managed to dash the snake against the rocks, breaking its neck. Kong picked up Anne again and made his way to an opening near the roof of the cave, closely followed by Jack. The beast emerged onto a ledge overlooking the island, gently put Anne down, and roared his defiance at the world. He sat down, carefully lifted Anne up, and examined her properly for the first time. He seemed fascinated. Okay, well done everybody. So that is our short extract that we're going to read today. What I'd like you to do now is answer these two questions based upon the extract that we've just read. So number one, how does Kong feel about Anne? And number two, how do we know that Kong won't hurt Anne? So you can use the sentence starters provided if you like, but also just make sure that you write the question and then your answer underneath. So when I come to look at your work, I know what you've done. Okay, well done everybody. For our second task, what we need to do is write as many alternative words for said that you can think of. So for example, instead of saying said every time you write dialogue, you could say shouted. Another example could be asked. What I'd like you to do now is you can make a list, so this can be bullet points if you'd like, and just write as many words, or as many alternative words for said that you can think of. You're then going to use these later when you write your own short dialogue. So it's a really good idea to get as many ideas now that you can, so you can use them later on. Okay, well done. So for our last task, what we're going to do is look at the rules for dialogue, and then we're going to write our own short dialogue. So I'm going to read the short extract from the book. This is from a lot earlier on in the book, so you might recognise it. And we're going to see how the author uses the rules for dialogue. So, as the sun went down, Anne looked over the water and listened to the sinister beating of the drums. Jack joined her. "Why aren't you in bed?" he asked. "I couldn't sleep. The sound of those drums make me nervous, I guess." "Me too," said Jack. "Denham was crazy letting you go ashore today. I dread to think what he'll want you to do for this picture." "After what he has done for me," Anne said, "I'd take just about any risk for him." "Don't say that, Anne. When I think of what might have happened today, if anything had happened to you." "Well then," Anne smiled, "you wouldn't have been bothered by having a woman on board?" "Please, Anne, don't laugh. You know I'm scared for you. You know, I love you." As she kissed him, they heard Captain Engelhorn calling Jack to the bridge. But when he left her, neither of them heard the gentle splash of the oars in the water. Okay, so that is the short dialogue there. And if we look over here to the purple box, we can see the rules for the dialogue and we can see how the author uses them. For example, new speak, a new line. Every time a different character speaks, the author makes sure to go on to a new line. For example, here is an example of Jack speaking. Why aren't you in bed? He asked. And then Anne replies, and the author makes sure to go on to a new line. It's also really important to make sure that inverted commas are going around your dialogue and around the speech. So you can see here, the inverted commas around the speech, me too. And you can see that all the way around, every time there's speech, there's inverted commas. You can also notice that the punctuation is inside of the inverted commas. And the punctuation can actually be used to separate the speech from the rest of the sentence. So here you can see that a question mark is used to separate this speech here from the rest of the sentence, he asked. And here there's a comma used to separate the me too speech from the rest of the sentence, said Jack. Of course, you'd only use a full stop if the whole sentence is finished. If not, you can use a comma. Okay, so now we've gone over the rules for dialogue. What I'd like you to do is have a go at writing your own short dialogue. So again, make sure that you're using the rules. So I've put the rules here for you so you can remember them. And I'd like you to make sure that your dialogue is between Jack and Anne. So have a go at doing this. Remember your rules, check for your spellings, make sure that you're doing, every time a new speaker comes along, make sure you're doing a new line. You can also use the alternative words for said that we came up in an earlier task and use them in your dialogue. Okay, well done everybody. Well done for your work today. Please make sure that you take a picture of your work and email it to your class email so we can have a look at them. So either Year 5 hazel@estrellabyronwood.org or Year 5 sycamore @estrellabyronwood.org. I look forward to reading your work and seeing you in tomorrow's lesson. Bye.